the government promised us our husbands benefits and up to now we can see it.
Good road, no good school. The health sector poor. Our anything that can just carry both those. Then politicians stay giving us empty promises. What happened now?
Who don't just? In fact, who rather lay in a complaint to? They will listen to all what in power. After election time, people know how important. After election, when we talk, they say we are Muslim minority.
Yeah. They say the evil a man does live after him, but the good is often told with his own.
Yep.
So let it be
Yeah. I getting you.
Listen.
You getting me?
You need to tell me what's happy. I can see it in your eye. No something happy. I can see you're not talking, but your heart talking. Telling me you're hungry. You're not
So
getting nothing.
you're not sure. I'll just myself.
Some of your life more than
You send a link to that man? You send a link to your guest?
You're fed up with the hard living. Just to survive some of your inner industry.
You send a link to your guest? Yeah. Alright, so they're texting him again, asking to join. Okay, so it's a wonderful.
They're not finished with the poverty reduction strategy. The latter, you're the vision 2030.
It's a wonderful afternoon here in Liberia, and of course today is Thursday, the 31st day in the month of July, and this is the last day in the month of July, and of course this is the year 2025. It's good. It's a wonderful time to be here on the Humanitarian Conversation. This is a 1 hour 10 minutes conversation that brings you all of the happenings. This is a platform that will speak to humanitarians, owners of organizations, and then just promote issues, talk about issues also that are affecting humanity in Liberia. So my name is Aloysius Chea. I will serve as the chief host for today. Morrison, Dassin, I think we'll just weigh in a little bit. Maybe you have to talk to your people before leaving the platform quickly. I know there are some issues that you have to handle, but quickly you have to talk to your people. So it's good to be here, and it's good to be here on this Thursday. And I want to urge all of you, our many viewers, our many followers, to stick with us. Don't go away. Join the conversation, follow the conversation, but don't do it alone. Invite somebody to watch with you. Morrison, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
So I will get.
Yo, what's up, bro?
Yeah, so welcome. Chief, how are you?
I'm good.
Okay, it's good. It's good to have you this afternoon on the platform. How's your end? How's the up and down, and how's the country so far from your own observation, my man? What's going on?
Well. Thank God. Man, we just gotta give God the praise. That bro, man, still don't complain.
Yeah. So it's good to have you on the platform this afternoon. For some reason, Morrison will be more like in and out of the platform of the conversation, so you will not actually be active. But we are here, and we've been joined by Ambassador Morris Siryon. He is our guest for today. But just before we go up to him, Amadu, just before we go to Morris, but as you're in again, how's the activities like from the 72nd area?
Yeah. Oh, this way, at least, we appreciate God and all the efforts you put in Momo Lab. People are making use of the opportunity, especially the situation opportunity. Like, currently now, this way, every lab and I kind of looking for space to enter just to have the program. Cosmetology students, and of course, cosmetology video cares, pastry are out there doing their thing. So yes, at least yes, it's getting better day by day.
Just quickly before we join Morris, you're the head of the institution. How's the enrollment? Because the last time I visited, we had more youth come in. How's the momentum like now from the vocational institution?
Well, it's good. For from the beginning of everything was tough, but at this point now, Kansas City can at least boast a few students. The numbers, I think we have like 60 some more plus enrollment now. So, and the enrollment is more in the pastry, the cosmetology, and that the computer. That will find more enrollment. Also, CCTV camera installation and plumbing are also on boring as well. Yeah. So all these classes, I think we have students in almost all of the environment. Who are making use of the opportunity? 3,000 now can spend the money. People making use of the opportunity. Yeah. So it's the in terms of number of students, yes, and they are making progress to those very few, so it's not bad for them. So we have students in the pastry department, after the cosmetology department, we have students CCTV camera installations, we have students in the plumbing, we have students in electricity, in computer, but the most dominant classes are cosmetology, pastry, and that of computer are the dominant class right now. So we have this section from Monday to Saturday now. So it's like every day. I was in class, I just left from class, I have like 4, 15 or 20 minutes, I just ask the students to kind of do this. So it's not, yeah. I think you pay a visit very soon and see how things is improving.
All right, so Amadu, we hold it there, and while we encourage our young people to make use of the little opportunities they can have or make use of, because education is paramount. And I always say there should not be an excuse for not acquiring education. It should not be an excuse in Liberia. So thanks again for the platform that you are creating for young people to prepare themselves for the future. Thanks ever so much. We have, like we've been saying, we have with us Ambassador Morrison. Welcome. This is the Mighty Conversation. This is a platform that was created to echo and voice out the concerns of young people that are making significant gains in society. So, welcome, Ambassador Morrison.
So thank you, and it's a pleasure being on this platform today. And again, it's an honor to be here to discuss issues in relative to the growth and development of society, and most especially the empowerment of young people. I want to say thanks to uh, for the invitation to be at this hour, and I look forward to us having a very fascinating conversation. Thank you so much.
Okay, so before we go forward, I'd like to apologize for yesterday. We had a serious issue, and because of that, we could not bring you on board as planned, because this was actually scheduled for yesterday, but because of the holiday, we had other issues. The show could not have been possible. So, we want to apologize for that before going forward. So, Amadu, we are proceeding now. For me or for Amadu or for some of
No
us,
problem.
most of our, okay, so our panelists will
It is
also
always
join.
important to be at this time.
Okay, so our panelists or the rest of our panelists will join as we go along with the show, but not for my sake, but for our audience sake. There are others that are listening now, or there are others that will watch the show right now, or that will follow us later, or that will even watch after the entire broadcast. Who is Ambassador Morris Sion? Can you give us a clear picture or clear introduction about yourself? Morris, are you
There's no
there?
sound. I'm not actually. Yeah, I'm here, but I'm not
So,
hearing you.
okay, so okay, I'm
Are you
saying
there, Morris?
for the benefit. Yeah, I think we are having some kind of a network problem, but this thing is normal in Liberia. So I'm saying for the benefit of not us on the platform currently, because to a certain extent we might know you or some of your workings, but for the benefit of our viewers or our followers or those that will even watch the show after this entire broadcast, you care to tell us more, clear picture about yourself, your introduction about you, some of your workings, what have you been involved with over the time?
Okay. So again, I am Morris Exile, Ambassador Morris Exile, and again, I'm a Liberian, hail from Lofa County, Lofian, and again, I'm currently the Vice President of Administration at the Learning About Teacher Elementary School, and I'm the Vice Chair of Administration at the Nelson Mandela Intellectual Forum. I'm also the National Vice Chair for Education and Policy at the National Youth Congress of the Indefatigable Liberty Party. Uh, I've served so many capacities. I'm also a youth activist. I am a peace ambassador from the Institute of Economic and Peace. Obtained a certificate from there as a peace ambassador and also enrolled at the Peace Academy institution where I also obtained the letter of completion. So I was an associate in school administration, currently a student of University of People Reading Education. I currently reside in Radio Field, district number 17. I'm involved into advocacy, into youth empowerment, community initiative, education, and so on. So that's who I am actually.
The portfolio is heavy, it's just too much, and I think it's good for a young man getting involved with various and different sectors. These are things that are very much welcoming because you have to make use of the opportunities that you have and at least contributing whatever way possible to the national growth. So you cannot tell us, but I know you be there and you money man with the kind of a portfolio I know that sort of finances attached to it, especially from the Liberty Party end. Just kidding anyway. But so I want you to take a step back and tell us how you started this your journey because I recall you served as student council president at the Sarah Barclay High School. Your homework began, how you started gradually. I just wanted to join us through that as we still warm up for the real questions.
So a lot of life itself is not certain. At times we have to live with what is available. And I can retrospect back then in the when I started my early childhood education at the Pressure Gateway Elementary School in Camp Johnsonville. And wherein it came a time my father decided that Morris, I think it is important enough that you go back home to know your family because when you cannot live our entire life in Manubra, you don't know where you came from. So again we went to Lofa County and then in Lofa County I attended the St. Joseph County High School where I ended my elementary education and then we decided to come back to Monrovia. When we came to Monrovia, where I started my junior education at the Cyril Barkley High School. So what in Cyril Barkley from seventh grade up to 10th grade, I was in the class leadership from secretary general to vice president of the class, president of the class. So when I became the prospective senior in the 11th grade, and then the student council election was pending. So at that moment, I was serving as president of my class. So the entire class decided that Maureen, we need to support you. We want you to become the vice president for the school. And I was like, uh, who am I to say no? I have to make use of the opportunity. And then I decided to get into student politics and I contested for the vice presidency position. And fortunately for us, we won at the time on the student education party ticket. And then when my president left, at the end of the academic year, and then as a vice president, I took over the role in student affairs until election. So when the time reached for student election, I decided to contest in the process, Aloysius. So it was interesting to know Aloysius Amadu when I decided to contest for the presidency back then, 7 years ago. The students said, "More, we're going to support you," and I was into the process. And at that time, the late brother Dava Wilson was alive. She used to live behind the Silver Baptist School. If you remember the lady who got involved in the incident with the late Representative of Lawrence in the current one of the minister of labor, Carla NDC, and the list goes on. So she came on the campus and she saw that kind of death in me and said, "Yeah, a young man who is in the victims, and for what I've seen, I think we need to support you, most especially you're on the Vanguard Communication Party ticket." And I got the support, and I was elected overwhelmingly by the students. And I can retrospect that one election at the time, I have 513 students who voted for me. And while my opponent obtained 200 votes. So the margin was 313 vote margin. Then I was successful and I won a student council election. And we run the affairs of the students and up to our graduation. And up to the day, the school still called upon us when their graduation to represent the Alumni Association. So leaving Maxwell back there, coming to a larger society, and I found myself at the Nelson Mandela Forum where I started as just an intellectual disco co-chair. And from intellectual disco co-chair, I became the Secretary General at the level of Nelson Mandela Intellectual Forum. From Secretary General, I became the Vice Chair for Operations. From Vice Chair of Operations, currently I'm the Vice Chair for Administration. So when it comes to Liberty Party, I started as a district youth chair. I just started as a district youth chair for district number 7. That was my first position I ever held in the Liberty Party. So when there was a conflict in the Liberty Party where we had two factions at the time. Things they would not reach my rule and all of those issues that went on at the end of the day. Uh, we settle our differences, we reconcile in the Liberty Party. We are one people and have a one agenda. So with my workings and my experience in leadership and my contribution, my thought towards the growth and development of Liberia, most especially our institution. You know, I got opportune to become the national vice chair for education and program. So when I left the party, started to attend the West African College of Science and Technology where I did the education. First they went and obtained C certificate in general education and then went back to obtain an associate. And like I said, currently I'm also a student of the University of the People, an accredited online university, based on my schedule and other activities so I think. And then currently I'm reading education with them. So I've done a whole lot of things, even from our community initiative, a lot of you can bear witness. I can retrospect when I once served as election commission chair. I began as assistant secretary general. When the secretary left, and then I was asked to serve as secretary general, and fortunately, the chairman of the commissioner left. He had an opportunity to go in Cape Mark County to work at Deer Mountain, and then I was asked to study a fair election in the community. And with that, the election was successful. I also founded an organization, the Youth Partnership for Change Liberia. If every one of you can retrospect, we were involved in the criminal campaign and other activities. And later on, I founded the Youth Action for Better Change, where I got in partnership with Mother Linda Rose from the United Kingdom. And then she came to Liberia, were opportune to train 50 teachers and also, empower 50 students at the time back then in 2022. So with my working relationship with her, she, our organization awarded me a corporate partnership award at the time in 2022. And then there was a time we had a protest at the retrospect with the current deputy director elaborating the lecture property in Clarence School when there was a conflict in Cameroon. We have a peace march on that occasion. And after that occasion, I was opportunity to do a course with the human rights, and then I obtained a certificate from them. So, it was a read my role where made. There were times, there was so a lot of difficulty and challenges, and most especially, while coming up, left your parents, and most especially leaving a parent who have money before and end of the day things turn around, things were not absolutely or actually the way it was. And then you have to leave your parents because you want to go to school, you start living with other people, and you know, many of times people have not realized that uh, the woman who I've lived with was not my biological mother because we have nothing in common. I took her as my mother and we did everything we could. I have to be grateful to her because she supported me. She did all what she could that as a young man coming out, I could not get myself involved into anything that would have cost my life to go astray. But as it stands now, we are into the larger society, making this contribution. And like I said, I currently work with the Blessing My Public Elementary School where I serve as the vice principal of administration, where we have a little around 4 to 500 students with a little over 25 staff. Yeah, so lunch of that there is a lot. So we thank you.
Thank you, Morris. Thanks so much. That's a lot. Anybody following this platform, this Morris profile, especially when you come from down the line and you try doing it all by yourself. And the help that you have, the help going away, how to be strong, and So what kept you going? We just want to know what kept you going all those time. Like you say, you people say you don't come buy it, right? Because every case the community have eyes for you. There's an activity today if Morris want to do, everyone want to try to go there. The reason why, because where the path that Morris is going to. There's some people that they try to do certain things, hey, don't go there, don't go there. So what kept this Morris, Ambassador Morrison, going strong, not putting yourself to other activities, just want to be focused and do the right thing for the sake of the young people and yourself. All right. How does this feel?
So Amadu, it is often stated and I quote that uh, uh, no matter where you go, you always remember the road that leads you. In other words, you know where you came from. So I'm from the Light family, but again, we live in a dispensation where in most especially in Liberia, family will not know you when you are not at the top. And most especially if you have money yesterday and everything have gone away, and which of course I experienced with my family. When my father was alive, when my mom was alive, when there were opportunities. And at the time, I had the opportunity to attend the charter school, attend the pressure gift school in the Camp Johnson Road. I had the opportunity to attend these schools. But when those opportunities left, I had a courage, right? Being the firstborn of my parents and having a siblings, I have the courage and I kept motivating myself. I can say to any young people out there, you might lost everything in this life, like Morris, who lost his mother, lost his father in less than 2 years. In 2022, my mother left me, and 2023, my father left. And again, I still keep the courage, and I said to myself, I can make it. So, with every other young people out there who are listening to us on the platform, nothing should scare you from your dream. One thing I do believe, Amadu, is that in this life, it is just a matter of time. The difference between you and myself, we and others out there, is just time. So when your time reaches, nothing going to stop you. But one thing you can do for yourself is to keep pushing and make use of every opportunity. That opportunity might come, you might not be prepared at the time, But every opportunity that comes your way and you're prepared for it, you should make use of it. So one thing I've always done to myself, I've motivated myself. I've said to myself that Morris, no matter what happens, you can make it in this life. No matter what people say about you, you can make it in this life. Like you said, people eyes of on me in the community. We have worked together at the retrospect with the Radio Free Academic Series at the time. I was called on board by you guys that Morris, we need you on board as Secretary General, and we quite spoon with other cooperative working relationship. Over the time, people say that Morris was a savage guy and don't like to go around people and I too big, and that was not the issue. And the only issue was that I lived in a place at the time where I didn't have the opportunity to go out and chill with friends, to play with friends. I remember when I go to school in the afternoon, I can remember first they started selling boiled eggs. I would go and sell boiled egg in the morning and then come back, get ready for school in the afternoon. From school, I'm home, selling at the shop. And later on, I start selling the Kromah in the morning. I will go around, I sell Kromah, come back home around 11 o'clock, take bath, go to school. I can remember when I was in the 10th grade, I didn't have money. There was no money for me to go to school that year. Imagine government school at every where you supposed to pay maybe at most I think $2,000 to $3,000 just for registration. So during the election, I came across a man called Mr. Christopher, and with him we start to support one lady by the name of Didi. She was contesting in district number 17. So I had a relationship with him at the end of the day and said, man, that's $3,000. You can go and register yourself and go to school. Today when I post on Facebook, you want to always come in commenting my son, and I'm always proud of him. He did well for me at the time. So he was able to register me in school, and I was able to register and go to school. There were a whole lot of things. And I always said to other young people, nothing to make you to be a disadvantaged youth. Nothing should make you to get yourself in the way others are into. Because it is only you that will make you the kind of person you want to be. Your parents might try. Even no matter how all of the money in the world will give you all of the support. But if it does not make up your mind to become somebody in society, you will not become nobody. So all is about the mindset, the determination, and the courage. So courage that keeps me going and a hope. Every time when I post on Facebook, I always say God is involved keeping the hope alive. And I want to say to Amadu, I will continue to keep the hope alive because I am a courageous young man and believe that the future is bright.
The future is bright, and the future is bright, and you are a courageous young man. And I think this is the mindset, not just you, that all of the young people should possess, because with this, then we know that the future of our country is in safe hands. Because we need people with the mindset that are determined to make a difference in society. So thank you for the kind of a beginning. I'm actually impressed. Now, I want to take this discussion a little bit forward. You from the educational background, I want us to start from that point. What's your view on the entire education sector in Liberia? I know we'll come to your political side, but I want us to start from there because, yeah, it is something important, and your contributions to education is not something that has gone unnoticed over the years. So I want to have a clear understanding from you as an administrator now, and also as an educator.
So with a 6 years experience, 6 to 7 years experience in the field of education, ranging from a classroom teacher to administrative assistant and becoming vice principal of administration. Everything is now roses. And I think we listened to the orator who spoke on our 178 inaugural, not inaugural, sorry, but Independence Day celebration. And he said, so many children they sit on the floor. So our education sector in the bureau, we still need improvement. You know, uh, Aloysius, I hear from the public school. Many of times people have think that the public schools are not the best institution to send their children to. But those mindsets, it is because of how at times some public school students present themselves. I've always told people that I've never regret attending a public school because at the public school you have a large of qualified teachers, right? People who teach us how you must be an associate holder or a bachelor degree. I can register all of those who taught me in the senior high. The late Mr. Tama, who was the principal of Siberia at the time, taught me literature in the senior high. We have Dutchman, who is a hero like courses. Imagine, he taught me mathematics in the senior high, the Chea High School. So when it comes to education sector in our country, there is still more to do. I want to inform the government, right, and all private sectors or private institutions that the bare root or the bare root of every given society is education. There's a book that called Cassava Piassava Massa. When you read that story, it tells you that education is the greatest or the biggest weapon in the world that you can use to destroy anything. So, with education, Liberia can move forward. So, I want to say this to the government that there is more to do. Train enough teachers. Let's have qualified teachers in the classroom. Improve the education system. Let us focus on STEM, the issue of science, technology, education, and mathematics, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Because the war is not driven to, uh, let's say, it's not driven a direction wherein that you have to be a computer literate. So, when some of us in high school never had the opportunity to go to computer school to understand what Microsoft is, what Excel is. But again, where the war is not driven to, and I think the government needs to invest more because there are a whole lot of schools who do not even have a laboratory, not talking about a computer lab, and most especially the public schools. I start following some of the activities in other countries. There are countries they were interested to know there are students sitting on the floor. There are countries, those schools where students attend that we refer to as public school. Uh, there should not be a place for students to go to school in the 21st century. Liberia will need to do more in the education sector. We need trained teachers in the classroom. But this cannot happen if the government cannot get involved. I understood that the government intended to build, I think, almost 200 elementary schools as going to be corrected across the country. That's a very good initiative, very great ideas. But again, those schools that are already available or those schools that have been available over the time, those institutions should be upgraded. So institutions be upgraded. I graduated from Siryon High School, but I did not remember a day that I visited a computer lab. I did not remember a day that I visited a science lab. But again, we were still courageous, and we did something called map reading, and I think many of you did the same in high school, most of in coverage in geography. There are other things we did in physics and chemistry, but we actually did not do the practical. Wherein we entered, the lab, and there will be things showing to all using the microscope and what a few. So let the government invest more in STEM, in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Because currently the world is driven into technology. You can be in any part of the world now. You get your master's degree, you get your PhD. The best thing you do have access to computer, have access to an Android phone. So the education sector in our country, we have to improve it. We need to improve the system. We need to do more. Aloysius, Amadu, Aloysius, you're a graduate of the State University. There have been a lot of issues over the time. The government have to do more. And I think the next budget, I'm recommending to the government that a lot of money should be given to the Ministry of Education in order to invest more into education because when you have a youth who is educated and prepared for the job market, you're going to reduce poverty in a family, you're going to reduce poverty in a community, you're going to reduce poverty in a nation because when a man is educated, he will be able to contribute to his country. But mind you, there are many Liberians today who feel happy about going out there to get foreign degree. to get foreign degree. The reason is that they believe that when it goes out there and have a foreign degree and come back to Liberia, there people value them so much. Then I think you go to Rwanda, you go to China, you go to the US and attend Harvard University and other places. When you come back to Liberia as a master or PhD, in fact, everyone's going to respect you because you have a foreign degree. And I can retrospect a history back then in the years, in the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. People have informed me that at that time, people from Sierra Leone, from Ghana, from Nigeria, from Guinea, and other parts of the world or Africa was willing to come to Liberia to obtain quality education, to attend the state university, to attend other institutions in the world. But why it is that today these things are not happening? Why are we going out to get foreign degrees and people coming to Liberia that they used to do yesterday? We understood that there was some civil crisis. We understood that there were some issues that broke down our system. But again, we have had almost 16 years of stability. We have 16 years of peace. There's no time to waste with our resources in our country. We need to improve our education sector. We need to invest more into STEM education. Like in retrospect, few months back when the president took over, he announced I think 1,000 plus young people across the country to be trained into technology. And we were told that those events were going to be something that we come in constantly. But since the first batch graduated, there's nothing we have seen anymore. So we want to encourage the government to continue to do more. Our education systems will still have a challenge. But again, we are still hopeful. Like I said on my Facebook page on yesterday, that Liberia is on the rise and Liberia rise again. So we have a lot to do.
Yes, I like the way you I honestly like the way you put it. Thank you ever so much. Now, quickly, just to follow up, like in Sierra Leone, I remember the last time I visited, there's this policy that they not just government institutions, but there were free schools for like the secondary education, right? So the secondary schools are for people, especially girls. For a girl child, it's free. Do you think that in addition to the STEM, that is the science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, do you think that we also need to adapt to some of these approaches wherein offering school secondary, free secondary education for females, and in other countries, the entire grade school is done on a free basis where all of the schools receive subsidies from government. Do you also think we need to adapt some of those approaches as well?
So it is important that you bring this to the discussion, right? Uh, if the government will provide subsidies to all of the schools, both private and public schools, like you said in Sierra Leone, people have the mindset most of them go to public school than private school. It is because the government have paid more attention, right, to those public schools provide subsidies for private schools. Now, if secondary schools are free of charge, wherein government gives opportunities to young females, male and females, to go to school and obtain or acquire free education because in Africa, most especially in West Africa, there are a lot of people, a lot of young people who have the mindset to go to school and learn, who have the mindset to obtain diplomas, to obtain degrees, but the opportunity have not been given to them. In other words, they are from a family wherein their mother is a farmer, their father is a farmer, wherein they do not have the support to go to school. And trust me, when those opportunities are given, most especially in our country like Liberia, and again, it was tough to reduce the poverty rate in our country because people have always said that if you educate a man, you educate a family, but if you educate a lady, you have educated an entire world or an entire nation. So that's always been the mindset. But I think, like you said, it is important that the government look in that direction, provide subsidies for both public and private schools, regulate every activity and provide the opportunities for people like today. The University of Liberia is free of charge, is tuition free, you only register, right? That also is a means of opportunities. The young people who cannot afford to attend the AMEU, to attend the AMEZ, to attend UMU, to attend Star University, Star Marie, and the list goes on. It's not enroll at the state, at the state run university. wherein they get paid at $3,000 or $4,000 every semester for registration. So I think the government has to invest more into that and provide that kind of free education because uh, I can register when I was in high school in the public schools. I think when I was in ninth grade, I can remember I paid $200 a lot. Just $200 I paid to register. $220. Yeah, but as time goes by, there were increasing, and up to date, I cannot be exact the amount paying public schools, but it should be above, I think, 5,000, something like that. So I think the government have to take that direction in order to empower young people. Yeah.
Thank you ever so much. Amadu, let's hear you. Is there
Yeah,
anything
thank
from
you.
your end before we go to the political side?
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. As an educator, you are doing well, extremely well from one step to another. Today, you are seeing one of the administrative positions. That's good. You from the government school, you graduated from the government school, and more people in what is the private because it's the issue because someone talk about subsidizing private sectors of education. But the government sector education that have been subsidized over the years, we still find this difficulty in terms of the building, in terms of the students, everything. If you go right in the same model, right, there's a student have chairs. What's happening? Government go, what is really happening to this? Are there administrative issues or on the different issues? I really want to know what do you think is happening? How can we advise our people out there really creating some of these things in the sector? But those institutions, they graduated from us.
So, uh, if I'm get you right, government go, government come, and uh, there are some institutions who there is no improvement, most especially when it comes to the infrastructure. But again,
Recently
like I
played.
said,
Yeah.
the infrastructure,
Infrastructure.
right?
Please mute your microphone, please. Amadu, please
So
mute your
then
microphone.
now government go, government come, and but again, like I've said, over the time, uh, government have go, government come. Let me tell Mother Sebi thank you, right? Firstly, you know when Mother Sebi took over, there were no system, right? We just came from a civil crisis, and there were challenges in the bureau, there were difficulties. With our innovation and as a leader, we are able to revamp our education system, even though at the time the classified A to be a mess, right? But again, she helped to revamp the education system. They're building all of multilateral schools in various countries, building colleges in various countries that today are now universities. Yeah, the Bonjama Community College, the bombing, and the list goes on. I've seen university today. And other public school was also built. So the problem has been, I believe, some has been administrative problem. There's a possibility, school maybe some administration might not want to invest more, but especially maybe in the public schools. But again, like I said, government have to take the initiative. Government have to take the responsibilities because government is the one who regulates everything. They regulate both the public and private schools. So now, Chuckman, Aloysius and Amadu, Morrison and other panelists on the show, and our followers, if government will provide subsidies, right, for both public and private schools in terms of providing chairs, providing phones, providing the maybe other materials that involve in the education. And if possible, government can even say, okay, we will put the private school teachers on payroll, or maybe the school going to pay 50% of the salary. We as a government will pay 50% of the salary. You know what you are doing there? You are reducing some of the fees. Now, that assume when Samira is charging maybe 50,000 for 12 readers, and you provide all of those necessary requirements and all of those things for the school. Just like Samira will not charge 50,000 again for 12 readers. They might charge maybe 10,000 or 15,000 because the issue here is that they are They are providing 50% of salary for the teacher. They are not providing church. They are not providing board. When it comes to everything, the government is helping to provide subsidies for the schools in order to allow uh, to boost up the education system and allow those who do not have the opportunity to attend some of those schools have the opportunity to attend those schools. When it comes to the infrastructure, like I said, government is the one regulate everything, right? There are some schools. That's me right. There are some schools who have maybe someone where they open a 3 bedroom house and got a sitting room, and there put people children there instead of having an elementary schools there. But the reason is that the government has not been more effective in her regulations, and that should be done by the various BOs, the various CEOs. The CEOs should tell the people visit various institutions, know what is happening, bring back reports, tell all what's going on. Because the environment in education also matters, right? The environment matters because the environment is conducive, it motivates the students to learn. But child cannot go to school and then they are sitting in a classroom wherein maybe when they come out of the classroom, the entire place there's so much, everything is dirty. In fact, there's no good blackboard, there's no good chairs to sit in, and then the child will be sitting in that chair and also complaining and also thinking. But again, when it comes to infrastructure, the government should do more especially with public schools to improve the facilities, to provide subsidies. The rural government schools should be improved. That will also encourage young people that will not take government school as the CA to be today. Over the time when nowadays when your mother tells you that they're going to government school, you want to feel bad, right? Others CAs, no, I cannot attend government school, I need to go to private school. Even though I came from a private school before going to a government school, my entire elementary days were in private school, on the carry system to other private schools and later in rural at a government school. And where we had, at the time, in our classroom, we had around, I think, 60 to 70 students. Imagine. We have 12A, 12B, 12C. At that year, the entire 12 grade were over 200. We're over 200, and the institution at the time had over 1,500 students that are led as a student council president at the time. So the government needs to improve the facility, build those schools, uh, improve every sector, provide computer labs, provide science labs, make sure that they are having everything they need, every business need when it comes to education. Because in the absence of those things, because a conducive environment we always encourage the students to learn. We live in a world now, like I said, where the world is driven to technology. Now, when you go to other countries, it will interest you to know that when someone tells you the days of high school, you'll not even believe it, right? When someone tells you the days of university, because an entire university can be like the entire value fee. Just a single university is an entire value fee where you have the business college on the side, you have the science college, you have different colleges. To leave from one department or one college to go to another, maybe you have to do 6 to 10 minutes walk. 6 to 10 minutes walk. So the government have to do more. The pre-tuition policy and the federal is something great, but again, we must improve the system. Like the oracle said, the
Okay.
system has to be improved. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks a lot for talking, Morris. Siryon, this is, if you just followed us, this is the Humanity Conversation, and this program comes on Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. Liberian time. So I want us to divert the conversation a bit. You are occupying a position, I think, for vice president for educational policy. You will come with the rightful way for it. But tell me, by that role, what are you tasked with at the Liberty Party?
So, like, like you said, you come with it. I'm the national vice chair for education and policy at the level of the national sponsor of the indefatigable level of the party. So, my responsibility is to provide education policies that will help to empower young people. So, as a stand man, Aloysius intends you to know that uh, our honorable president is of Yomikaka Lawrence, the political leader of the indefatigable Labour Party, uh, have launched a 25,000 United Dollar scholarship fund drive for young people to go to school. At the same time, there are a lot of recruitment ongoing. Young people are feeling informed to attend great universities to go for professional studies. And yeah, AMEU, UMU, AMEZ, University of Liberia. And my responsibility is to come up with programs, with policies that will empower young people when it comes to education. And with God who has it, the Honorable Putin who believe that education remains the bedrock to every given society. In the absence of education, Liberia cannot progress. Who believe that she must prepare or she must educate the young people for a better Liberia and a better Liberia party. Here, humanitarian will, like I said, she have launched Young Carter Lawrence Scholarship Fund Drive that worth more than 25,000 United dollars. That will have a lot of young people, right? At the University of Liberia, the Startup Marie, the UMU, the AMEU, that we pay the money in the account of the school, that will go to school and learn and obtain their degree. The higher thing for you at the end of every semester, the party going to challenge you that, yeah, as a young man, we want you to be serious. There's a reason why we are supporting your education. We are not like other political parties who would just, look down upon the young people who does not believe that the young people remain the future of the political party and the nation. The Madam believe on the young people Lauren believe that she must educate the young people for a better tomorrow, for a greater tomorrow. So she challenged them, saying to them, gentlemen, yeah, you must obtain the GPA of maybe 3.5, 3 point or more. Just come with your grade sheet. At the end of every semester, will be responsible to pay your tuition. Go to school and learn. You have nothing to worry on. At the state university, the same thing will provide you subsidies. You go and register, you still have money in your hand. I need to buy your school material and all and what of you. So my role there is to regulate every education that's here, provide policy, provide direction for young people when it comes to education. With my experience in the classroom, uh, and currently as an administrator, uh, the other party is moving forward. We believe in the young people. We believe in the restoration of the young people. We believe that education is the key to success. So with that, we are currently providing opportunity for young people to go to school. And not only uh, going to university, we're also providing vocational education, asking you go to NVTR, go to NVTC, any vocational school you want to attend. Tell us that this is my ambition, this is what I want to learn. Any professional school you want to go to, the GONEC, the LIPA, tell us that I want to go to school. I want to obtain certificate in monitoring and evaluation in accounting and banking. We'll provide you the resources to go to school, the opportunity will be given for you to go to school. So that's my
Okay.
responsibility to regulate this activity.
So with the 25,000 that you talk about, how many persons is this amount going to cover at various universities or vocational or professional institutions?
So with the plan put in place, we are expected not more than 150 to 200 students to benefit from this process because uh, but we have more university students because we have for university we have vocational students and we also have professional studies like I told you about the issue of attending Gunnet, LIPA, and the list goes on. So we approximately around 150 to 200 students who are going to benefit from this initiative because at the level AMU, I think they are credit hours should be around either $18 credit and what a few and this is not just going to be the end Aloysius, Amadu and other panelists on the platform. We're going to do more. But the best thing is that you as a student, when the party decides to support your education, you should be serious Be waiting to go to school. Bring by your grade sheet. Just bring your grade sheet. One thing, we are not giving the money to you as an individual. No. We send the money to the school account. There's the reason why if you come, you bring our admission letter, or you bring forth your ID number, and we're going to send the money to the school account. The higher thing for you, go to school and learn.
All right, Morris. I know Amadu want to come in, but quickly before he comes in, over the time, or because for us we are in the media, we've talked to a lot of newsmakers, we talked to a lot of people, and some of them have said over the time that the youth wing of the Liberty Party have been silent on serious national issues. And one reason given was that their alliance with the Unity Party in the just ended 2023 elections. Do you care to comment on that? There are so many things happening, but we are yet to see official statements coming from the youth wing of the Liberty Party. And in fact, the Liberty Party in general, is it because you're aligned with the Unity Party, or what exactly?
So, Aloysius, the other party over the time have been making opposition on issues. If you can follow, you can retrospect when the sack of the lawmakers, those individuals who are involved into the action case, who are involved into the action case. If you have been following the other party as an institution of the political party, keep up with a statement that in fact every media outlet out there was like, wow, the statement is strong. So if people will say that the other party have not been coming out with a statement, then I come to wonder, right? The issue of MDR, not MDR, but the issue of labor ministry, if you can retrospect, uh, the Youth Congress Alliance Party also came up with a statement concerning the labor minister giving out permit to aliens when the senators and the Abraham Dawes, also raised those issues at the time. The other party as an institution, most of the young people came up with a statement. So if people would say the other party have been silent due to our alliance, I don't think that's what they are thinking is right, because as a retrospect, we have been providing position statement on 20 national issues.
Morris, the concern has been the youth league and the entire party has been silent when it comes to issues of concern, like in a case where you have marketeers complaining about the high increase of the U.S. rate on the market, thereby posing serious threat to their businesses. Where in fact you have people speaking about the president's declaration of yesterday as a Thanksgiving Day. Some of them terming it as unconstitutional. You have motorcyclists banned. Some of these things, some of the same people you campaign with, some of the people that voted for you, there are reports that you're not considering their interests. But that's the point.
So, so Aloysius and other panelists and those who watching out, uh, and I think when it comes to this, saying that the other party have always been silent, we have not been responding to issues, we have not been talking. And I think the declaration of the holiday by the president of National Prayer Day, this should not be a strange thing. We will not criticize things that we think is right, right? Now, if you can retrospect, the president wouldn't have the powers of proclamation. The president can proclaim, not just for that day, it cannot be an entire year, that every year we're going to whistle this day as a national holiday. That can only be done by the legislature. The legislature can pass a law that, yeah, on this day, every year we celebrate this day as a national holiday. But the president proclaimed, I can retrospect in 2022, I'm still to be corrected. President George Manuel, we have former president of Liberia declared a national holiday on the day of the census. And on that day, people stay home so they can be counted. So, the marketeers are complaining, and I think the president have taken a stand, President Jacob Boakai have taken a stand and organized a committee headed by President Jeremiah Cancun to visit the drug marketeers, interact with the people, and know what the problem is, come back to the president with a report in less than 45 days. Because they have been tariff reduced, right? They have been tariff reduced on commodities and what of fuel. But again, there are contradictions that think president has. So the president in the right man has set up a committee. So we as an institution, we are saying not because we had an alliance with the Unity Party, but again, remember when we had our program, I can retrospect, there was a statement made at our occasion in the other party headquarters by one of our political leaders that we had an alliance, we support the government, but just all we going to engage you constructively. If you do the wrong, we come out and say it. If you do the right, we're going to praise you. Oh yeah, and that's what the party stands for. I'm not sure the government is doing well. President Walker is doing extremely well. I can tell anybody, not like yesterday, wherein former President George Weah could not listen. President Walker is a man who listens to the Liberian people. Over the time, we have seen his actions over the time. When you talk, he listens to the Liberian people. We have seen a whole lot of government officials have been suspended from their positions. But over the time, those things were not happening. So our saying is that we engage into issues. We speak to trending national issues. Unless those out there who feel like we are not saying anything, but those who have been following us, we have had position on 20 national issues. Like I made reference on the Aspen case. I made reference on the issue of the labor ministry. So what else, Aloysius?
Hey,
Well, thank you,
Morrison
Morris.
is Ambassador Morrison. Yeah, Amadu, let's hear you.
So thank you, Morris. Thanks. When you invite the politicians to talk about me, today I'm more interested in youth empowerment. One of the topics, one of the main key points I want to stress on because they have to do with young people. I hope Morris is there. Morris there. We will come back. I hope.
Yes, I think he's having a little problem with his network.
Yeah, I hope
We
Morris.
hope
Morris,
he can rejoin soon.
yeah, Morris had a bike. Please try to bring Morris back because Morris back. So, like you said, for we better discuss around some of those things you talk about the being effective in criticizing the governments. For me, that is just politics, right? The politicians will always want to support their side. I don't care how their side go wrong, how their side come right. What it meant to be criticized or not criticized. So you see, you ask that man question for another tomorrow, they'll tell you, say, we ask them, because if you ask them attack at the end of the day, nobody for a size the ball. That is the belief.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
When it is believed that nobody from their side is involved, because the only person that should be from their side involved, that person already taken away automatically. I have no reason given, and we are hearing that the person will be lost.
Representative Priscilla Cooper. Representative Priscilla
So at that point, it's so simple, it's so easy for them to come up with a statement. And that statement, you read it will tell you that also make yourself respect the law, but the same group may come out during the time they struggle there at the capital meeting where people didn't commit the law was not respected. So that is just how they play around it. But I hope that Morris can talk more about youth empowerment, things are much better in terms of everything. So Morris trying to come on the network is bad. That is our country. Every time we are spending conversations happen.
So for us, things of such nature is not strange to us. So we anticipate always on the show. Morris, welcome back. Amadu, you're in flat. Go ahead.
Yep. Morris, are you getting me now? Morris, the mic is mute.
So I'm here. I'm getting you.
All right, thank you. So, you want to talk about youth empowerment. If you look at youth empowerment in our country, on the last skills, let's forget about who empower or what government empower people, what government is not empowering people. What do you have to say about youth empowerment? What do you think you have to do? Young people, a lot of young people go to the Dassin right now, place them lecturing. A lot of people are qualified young people in Liberia, but there's not much opportunity to empower them. What do you want to talk about youth empowerment?
So when it comes to youth empowerment, we understand that there are challenges, right? Like the oracle says, around 72% of young people, according to his own analysis, who are out of job. But uh, the government have to do more. The private sector is also doing a best, but government is the higher employer and it seems to be corrected on this. So, in my mind, what can the government do? What are some of those things we need to tackle when it comes to youth empowerment? The government needs to invest into education and skills, like I said. Aloysius, Amadu, and other panelists on the show, and those who watching. The government has to invest into education, most especially into STEM education, to prepare young people for the job market, to meet the needs of the job market, because we live in a world of technology, right? Today, when people want you to go to a job, they will ask you to be computer literate. How many persons do we have in Liberia who are computer literate? And I think the president, in his wisdom, have tried to work on that. Like he have the first training section for young people. The government also has to involve into entrepreneurship, and not going to entrepreneurship, but again, let's look at the issue of vocational education, right? Everyone will not go to school, everyone will not enter university or acquire a degree. But again, we should have people who understand, who know how to drive, who do heavy duty, who do construction engineering, can build house. We should have people uh, who have other vocational skills and technical skills. The government also has to invest into entrepreneurship, right? And how can the government invest or support entrepreneurs? Now, provide access to funding and resources for young entrepreneurs to start a petty business. For example, uh, Amadu is a businessman, or Amadu wants to start a business. The government of Wisdom can say, okay, Amadu, we're going to provide you $1,000 US, or maybe 100,000 dollars so you can start a petty business. Or we provide you a loan, right? Yeah, the government can have also a bank that will provide loans for young people, right? And I believe in my wisdom, President Boakai will deliver that before the 6 years can end, because I believe in my mind he is waiting to empower young people, where young people will go and get money to subsidize their businesses, to open up petty business, right? So we also
So,
look at job creation initiatives.
yeah, let me hold you there. Let me hold you there. So, like, I want to talk about youth empowerment on a bigger scales. Like you said, the orator talked about up to 72 or 71%, which is very huge group of people, young people that is not empowered. Now, what are the plan? What are the plan? Like you said, you believe that the government will deliver that. For me, I don't really want to talk around it, but the government play a major role. What are the plan? What are the youth empowerment plan that this government think is working on? And you think maybe in the next 4 years from now, we're going to run or 3 or 4 years to get there. You think they're going to work with it? It's a limited time. Don't think the time. What are the plans? Because you're in the system.
Yeah, so because you're in the system. So, Amadu, alongside the other panelists on the show, right? I'm providing a remedy or a solution to this problem. How can we tackle the issue of unemployment when it comes to young people? How can we tackle it? And I first begin with the issues of investing into education. That's one where we invest into STEM and vocational education. I also talked about the issue of entrepreneurship, right? Where the government can provide subsidies, right? And we also look at the issue of job creation initiative, and I believe this is where you want to hear a lot of information from. Now, uh, 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 the government have to encourage foreign investment, and which of course the government is working on holistically, encourage foreign investment by creating a favorable business environment, right? And companies to hire local youth that will be able to work to support the growth of small or medium-sized enterprise. Now, in recent times, we saw the Ministry of Labor, right, where young people went, students to get a form in order to start off. And we of course are starting to do a very great initiative on the side of the government. And you cannot tackle everything in 1 year, right? And the government also has to provide government name policy and a framework, policy and a framework, right? Develop and implement policies that will foster youth empowerment. Now, we look at the issue of private and public partnership, the issue of private and public partnership. Now, the government and other international cooperation or NGO and other people need to work together. The issue of youth empowerment is a challenge. I'm gonna admit that to you in our country. It's a serious challenge. Like you said, you have young people who sit at the Atai shop, talk whole day, sing Atai. You know, I'm always at the Atai shop at the Indo Leisure Forum. I'm always there. We have experienced some of those things. But it's a challenge,
They're
like I
calling for
said.
another
And
work.
the plan is that, well, yeah, there are some who qualify, right? There are some who qualify. Now, there are one thing we should understand. We cannot be crying for unemployment and we suppose we are not qualified. If beyond the background that I said, we have to invest into education first when it comes to youth empowerment. Empowering young people is not all about giving a job. No, it's about providing the opportunity for them to go to school. When they are educated, they will have the opportunity to work. I'm not saying that some of them who are not qualified, there are others who are qualified, right? But the opportunities might not be available at this time. But again, if you have been following that, have been vacancy posted, make use of opportunity now. The Ministry of Transport posted vacancy a few days ago. I think it should be any either August 1st or the tier. There was a vacancy posted on the Ministry of Transport that the name of conductor, the name, I think either three or four different positions, check their website. So young people who are qualified should make use of that opportunity and apply. There are other agencies in government that put up vacancies. So the government is working on tackling the issue of unemployment, most especially for those who are qualified. But again, the government will also invest in education for those who are not prepared for the job market to also prepare themselves for the years ahead.
Morrison,
Yeah, do you
while
have any further questions?
we have yeah, Amadu, just before you come in, while we have very limited time to be here, we have roughly 10 minutes. We are gradually winding down on this Thursday's conversation. Amadu, let's hear you. I think you wanted to have a follow up to that.
Yeah, well, for like I said, the already there's a serious challenge and struggle and made to that. But this is a humanity conversations. This platform is more interested in the life of people, how bad this thing, the government or institutions can work in helping the poor people down there, the people that are struggling, the blind, the cripples. How you think that because the life of the people depends on the basic needs of the people. For that like you talk about the markets price, the street vendors, and every other person that need to also. You know that do you know that most of our employed through either motorcycle riding or selling along the road. But at the end of the day, some of these prices are not at that level. So why is the government or the institution or you as a young group coming up can do in helping people, in helping humanity? What are some of the things you're doing?
All right,
So
good.
So
Good
just before you
afternoon.
answer that, just before you answer that, Morris, I'd like to welcome the chairman of the external hands Liberia, and he's the one normally controlling this broadcast. Morrison, that's it. Welcome to the platform.
Oh, thank you guys so much. Thank you, Alosha. Thank you, Amadu, for always sticking to the humanity conversation. And thanks to our guest, Ambassador Morrison. Thank you for accepting our invitation to appear on the Humanity Conversation. We are so grateful to have you on this platform. So I'm kind of a busy. It was due to my same basic schedule yesterday that we couldn't host you on the platform because Aloysius as well back home have to package some news and other stuff. And again, we noticed that yesterday was holiday in Liberia. So we want to say sorry to our followers in and out of Liberia. We apologize for not informing you guys about the postponement of our guests. So I just want to use this medium to openly apologize to all of our followers. This is not our plan. We are people that when we say we go by a specific schedule, that's what we want to do. Right now, I'm kind of busy and tight to why but I have to squeeze in to at least come on the platform to communicate with our guests and at least just inject my little questions that I want to give to him, and then I can go backstage to continue what I'm doing. So welcome again, Ambassador Murray. Welcome to the conversation.
So it's a
So
pleasure to be here, Morrison, Dassin, and thanks to everyone of you for the invitation.
yeah, like Makodi Amadu just stated, the essence of this platform is 100% human interest story. So we believe in human interest discussion. And I've been following the conversation, even though I'm still on training, but I get my airport and my EST monitoring the show as well. But there's one question I want to ask you. You are from this political background, from the Liberty Party, and now there's this trending peaceful march protest in Liberia in which I saw your political head, which is Senator Abraham Dodd, they were endorsing the peaceful march protest. And knowing fully well that the senator have the rehabilitation center and seeing this kind of a protest and for he endorsing this identical protest from your youth end, you are a young man. What are some of the plans, the strategy that you guys are putting in to eradicate drugs and substance abuse in Liberia?
So
Maurice, you can
that's a
just
very
add
good
Morrison
question.
questions to the one that was asked by Amando. Then you can combine all to answer it.
So I beg to leave. You can answer.
Okay.
I'll be monitoring. I beg to leave.
Yes,
All right.
yes,
Thank you.
yes. You can just make a
So,
microphone as well.
so,
Okay.
so the issue of drug abuse in our country is a very serious challenge, and it is something that we are all fighting now. Uh, the issue of drug abuse, we are fighting to minimize it. You may refer to Honorable Ibrahim Darren Bilon, who have a rehabilitation center. And in recent times, a whole lot of people who have graduated from there, and today they are into the larger society. The senators were not other institutions, the Liberia National Police and other sectors of government indulge them much because the fight against drugs is not business. This is about every one of us. We must all get involved into this fight. Now, if we all come out with the mindset that indeed drugs is bad, drugs is not good, there is a need that we fight against drugs abuse. Now, what are some other things we need to do? They're going to, but they don't have a rehabilitation center, right? There are other rehabilitation centers across the countries. Now, but the first thing is that we have to educate young people, tell them that this thing you are taking in, this substance you are taking is not good, it's not relevant for your health. Compare your life with other young people that you grew up with, that you sat in classroom with. Look at your life today and see them. What are some of those differences, right? So, shit. Oh, what's my problem is this, man? My phone going off.
Uh, well, this is our country, bro. So
Yeah,
it's not easy. This is
Maurice,
never fight to make it
nothing.
better.
Yeah, I know you are enjoying the conversation and you are enjoying your contribution. So you just reset and then you can come back and we continue. But we have very limited time to be here, and for us from the radio background, we believe in time. We take time into serious consideration. But Maurice, are you still there?
The Morrison is going up. So with the Morrison, so Morrison can remove, you can leave and come back. Terrible. So Morrison is at the background and bring it back. So as we waiting for our guests, we really appreciate our followers. Thanks for sticking with us and always all ask that you share this video, because if you don't watch it, you can still watch it another time. Follow our page, follow our platform. We are streaming this live on YouTube as well. Check on YouTube, Extended in Liberia. We are streaming this live on YouTube and Facebook. So if you think that you're not cool with Facebook, the background, you can stream with that. We're also on YouTube as well. So to our audience sitting out there, it's not easy to come there every day. And YouTube is not easy to look at it if you're listen to us, talk about bad day. We have to keep talking about our country, because our country can only change if people there talking. Because if everyone go voiceless, there'll be a lot of stuff happening that we cannot get through. So before Morris can come back, like he can talk about the drugs and substance abuse. There's something that everybody needs to support. But it gets very funny to me a lot when I hear that police endorse it, the other person endorse it. Especially those are in positions, right? Those are responsible to implement the law, to make the law, to enforce the law. Say when citizen who don't even have the power, who don't have the power during the voting time or to see how best they can put that government accountable. When they come to protest, then you find another group that will come into Lazy, coming to Dassin. So bad, I don't know. They can be looking for that. I don't want you to have issue with it, right? But the question is, because a lot of people follow the debates. How many of them every day in our house of legislature debate or talk something about just a substance abuse or sorry, or put it in a different position? That's the reason you guys will be like, you get plenty here for me. I don't listen to you. It's very difficult. Unless maybe you own radio, I you listen to my friend today. That's not about. It's very much difficult, yeah. Seriously. Because if they are not making any decision out there about these drugs and substance abuse issues, we will go into the talk, we will go into the protest. Well, they will not welcome when they have no interest. Seriously.
I think, like you said, the laws are already on the book, so those that are responsible for the implementation should take concern in that and implement it. Those that should make tougher laws to ensure that we eradicate drugs from our society. They should create the laws that will ensure the eradication completely of drugs in our society. I think Morris is still having some problem, and we're already out of time. Amadu, we are already out of time. The conversation today was very fruitful. It was very fruitful. I hope that we can have Morris one of these days on one of the presentations again as he elaborate more on some of the workings and some of the national issues we are talking about. Oh, Morris, thanks for being there with us. Amadu, we have to go. We have to close up from the end. Then I can close it up.
Well, I would like to say thanks to Morris, Ambassador Morrison. The conversation was very fruitful from every angle. He's a one young man that I admire a lot. He's doing well. Then continue to do what you're doing. Thanks to our followers and thanks to everyone for following. It was good to be here.
All right, and so this is the Minded Conversation. Like Amadu said, thanks for always following us. We will be back here on Monday to continue another fresh edition of the program, 4 p.m. Liberian time. Many thanks to Morrison Dassin, who is in the United States, and he's doing all he can to ensure that this platform and this conversation continue. And many thanks to our guest for today, Ambassador Morris Asayan, a young man who is doing well. He's doing his utmost best to ensure that he contributes meaningfully to society. This is a challenge for all of the young people. Liberia is resting on us, is resting on our shoulders. Let us do all we can to ensure that we contribute meaningfully to the growth and development of our country. My name is Aloysius. Join us on Monday when Morrison, Dassin, and all of us will be back here to bring you another brand new edition of the program. Have yourselves a wonderful time, and we are taking our usual weekend break to be back on Monday. We love you. Keep safe. Keep Liberia safe. Think about Liberia. Think about humanity. And bye-bye.
Listen, You're not need to tell me what's happy. I can see it in your eye, no something happy. I can see it. You're not talking, but your heart talking.